JakeCosplays.
Depending on which tradition and location you are studying, Rauhnacht is either the time between Christmas and Epiphany, i.e. the 12 days of Christmas, or it starts a little bit earlier on December 21st. It goes through the same period. The tradition of observing Rauhnacht is strongest in Bavaria. It's thought that the word might mean smoke night, and refer to an ancient practice of burning some kind of protective herbs or incense to protect against the evil spirits that walk the earth on this time. Alternately, it might mean something like rough night, and refer to the rough and unsavory creatures that roam the world, or at least those folks who dressed up as them for pageants and festivals. Celebrations of Rauhnacht can be dated to the early 18th century, and they continued up until World War II, when the Nazis banned them, like everything else enjoyable. It's only been in the last 40 years or so that these festivitas have been revived, often with great spectacle. Some celebrations, such as the Waldrichchen, include the firing of cannons to frighten away evil spirits. No, simply shouting loudly for this lot. And the appearance of many Krampus-like costumed characters to entertain, scare, and delight onlookers. These festivities are not exactly revivals of ancient traditions, but more often modern presentations of a collection of folklore brought together in ways that they might never have been done in previous centuries. Children and others might go door to door seeking sweets again, rather than like trick-or-treating. Traditionally, they were likely to be given a kind of jam donut called a roundel. Though these days, candy is a perfectly acceptable substitute, probably because a pile of donuts would get messy and sticky very quickly. I would actually prefer donuts. Tradition says that laundry should never be left out in a line during Rauhnacht because of the wild hunt. The wild hunt happens to ride through. Some of the spirits might get caught on the clothesline and be unable to free themselves. Despite the potentially hilarious imagery that this calls to mind, this would be bad, for said spirits would be doubly angry and might hang around the offending home and cause no end of trouble throughout the coming year. Even worse, one of the fraus that rides with the wild hunt might take up a piece of clothing and make a shroud of it, which would be intended for one of those who lives in the offending home. In other words, leaving out your sheets to dry could lead to one of the spirits leaving you out to dry. Villagers traditionally burn smoke and incense to keep spirits away, and a tradition of developing skills with a whip developed again with the thought that the sound would frighten any evil that might venture too close to the house. People also honed their divination skills, especially fortune-telling with melted lead, which was called molybdomancy. On New Year's Eve, people would sit around a table and, using a candle flame, melt lead in a spoon, which they would then pour into a bowl of water. As the lead cooled in the water, it would form shapes, which could be interpreted by those in the know. Lead prediction is still popular, and you can even buy kits to do it with, though you're usually made with wax or perhaps tin these days, given that lead isn't the safest material around. Or maybe that's just what the evil spirits want you to think. This practice of candle burning is very common, especially with Norse mythology. And this is a very fascinating practice to do during the holidays and New Year's. And I do lives every New Year's. And I wish I could have Alicia there to join me during those lives. But, you know, she wants to frame me as a stalker.
Greetings, my friends. Please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon on new video releases. If you want to support elsewhere, purchase merch in the link provided on the video. What was that?